Welcome to Flow. Let's get started. Today you'll start off in a kneeling position. Bring your hands to rest on your knees or your thighs. Allow your eyes to close and take a few moments for quiet breath. Feel your ribs expand with every inhale and feel your spine lengthen with every exhale. Take a few more moments for yourself here, finding your own natural cadence of breath. Try to release any tension that you're holding on to, maybe with a little twitch of movement through the shoulders or through the jaw or through the neck. And then slowly bring yourself to a tabletop position. Slide your hands in front of you, bring your shoulders over your wrists. Extend your right leg so it comes back long behind you. Lift your right foot up off the mat. And now turn your right toes out to the side. And then bring your right toes to an internal rotation. And we'll take this 5 times. So nothing else should be moving, just the pillar of your right leg turning in and turning out. And notice how your hip facilitates this. And notice the way other parts of your body have to activate in order to stay still. Now after you've taken 5 of these, we're gonna add on. Turn your right knee out to the side, pull your right knee to your right tricep, extend the leg, turn in, and then tuck your right knee behind your left thigh. And we repeat this 5 times. So extend, turn out, knee to tricep, extend, turn in, knee to thigh. And again, 5 times total. We're gonna find a little more movement in the hips here, as this is a bigger movement, and a little more movement through the spine and the core. And that's okay, but do try to stay as stable as possible. You're nice and long through the back of the neck. Don't allow your chin to drop down. And notice your range of motion with your external and internal rotation. And after your last one, pull your right knee up to your right tricep and then step your right foot so it comes outside of your right hand. Now flip your back toes, lift your back knee, keep your left hand down to the ground, stretch your right arm up to the ceiling. Bring your right hand behind your head and pull your elbow up, and then bring your elbow down to your left wrist. And we repeat, open your right elbow to the ceiling and bring your right elbow down to your left wrist. We take this 5 times total, so keep the lift through your back knee. And really allow the movement to happen through the telescope of your rib cage. Notice if your range of motion can get a little further every time. This last one, re-extend your right arm up towards the ceiling, and then bring your right hand as far as you can in front of you. Lower your back knee down to the mat. And then try to bring one hand or both hands as far as you can in front of you. Allow your back knee to rest. Allow your head to be nice and heavy. Breathe into the space between your shoulder blades, full big breaths in and out. Think of your hips continuously pushing forward and down. Bring your hands back under your shoulders, flip your back toes, 3-legged dog, send your right leg up into the air. And then turn out your right toes and then turn them in 5 times, just with this external and internal rotation, and then we'll build on to something a little more active. Energize your left heel in the direction of the ground. And then after this 5th time, the next time you turn out through your toes, pull your right knee to your right tricep and slide forward to a plank. Send your right leg back in the air, 3-legged dog, and now pull your right knee to your left tricep, bring it across, and then send it back up to 3-legged dog. So we're taking this 5 times total. Out to the right and back up, and then across to the left, and then back up. So this is obviously quite a bit more active, but we're still finding a good amount of movement through your hip, allowing your hip to find external rotation, and then bringing it across and finding a little internal rotation through the hip and also a little twist through your spine. And also, of course, some shoulder and core activation. 5 times total. Keep it moving if you can. After your last one, step your right foot down and come to downward facing dog. And then lower your knees down to the mat for tabletop. We'll take a few rounds of cat and cow in this tabletop, arch through your spine, lift through your gaze, and then push into the ground and dome through your upper back for your cat spine. And we'll take a few more of these. You can move a little quicker, move a little slower. And let's say you do one more round. We're gonna take all of that on the second side. So when you're ready, come back to a neutral tabletop position and extend your left leg so it comes long back behind you. Lift your straight left leg and then start to externally rotate your left leg and then internally rotate. Just moving between these two positions. Try to keep your hips as stable as possible, your spine and your core as stable and strong as possible. Moving exclusively through the left hip and the left leg. Stay long through the back of the neck. Think of threading your chin up and back. And then after 5 times, we add on. So when you turn out your left toes, pull your left knee up to your left tricep, extend the leg, internally rotate, and then bring your left knee behind your right thigh. And we take this 5 times total and try to find a full range of motion. So what I mean by that is bringing your knee up as close as you can to your tricep, bringing it as far across as you can, and then extending to your full length every time between each set. Keep your core engaged. And after your 5th set, step your left foot so it comes outside of your left hand. Flip your back toes and lift your back knee. And find a twist, so you rotate your left arm up to the ceiling as you push down into your right hand. Bend your left elbow, bring your hand behind your head. Open your elbow and your heart to the ceiling, and then bring your elbow down to your wrist. And take that again. Open to the ceiling, and then bring your elbow across to your right wrist. 5 times total. Think of the length of your back leg. Think of this twist happening through the cavity of your rib cage. Stay long through the crown of your head. Allow your left hand to help you, almost as though your left hand is pulling your skull away from the rest of your body. After your last one, left arm up, stretch your left fingertips long in front of you, lower your back knee. And then try to get one hand or both hands as long as you can in front of you. Keep your hips nice and heavy. Maybe allow your head and your skull to be heavy as well. Notice tension you may be holding on to, possibly in the jaw or the shoulders. Try to release that tension with your next exhale. Breathe into the space of your ribs, the space between your shoulder blades. Bring your hands under your shoulders, flip your back toes, 3-legged dog, send your left leg up into the air. And then externally rotate your left toes and internally rotate. And we take this 5 times. Try to get your left leg as straight as possible. Energize your right heel in the direction of the ground. If it doesn't make contact, that's all good. We just want to emphasize the lengthening behind your right leg. And then we make this a little more active. Pull your left knee to your left tricep and then extend. And now pull your left knee to your right tricep and extend. 5 times total, moving through. And just as we found when you were down on your knees, even though this is a little more active, try to find your fullest range of motion. If possible, try to make contact. Bring your knee to your elbow and then extend your left leg as much as you can. Almost there. Keep it going. Let your breath be your best tool. Finding a lot of activity through the core and through the shoulders. And after your last one, bring yourself to downward facing dog. So your left foot will meet your right foot. And then bring your knees back down to the mat and find a few sets of cat and cow, just to move through the spine again. You can take this nice and slow. You can move a little bit quicker. You can pepper in any additional movements that might feel appropriate in your body today. Let's say we take one more set, one more breath. And then slowly make your way back to a kneeling position. So the same way we began our session. Just a moment to come back to your breath, a moment to acknowledge any shifts you may feel. Could be physical, could be just with the breath. Give yourself a few moments of acknowledgement and of gratitude for carving out this time for yourself. Thank you for joining us today. And that's your flow.